What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin Svenson, and today we're going to be talking about the epic price action that we're seeing across the entire crypto market right now. I'm currently using the Cryptowatch Desktop App, and we can see that all of the top cryptos are moving to the upside. And this does very likely have to do with the fact that Bitcoin did see a bit of a consolidation recently. Now, I'm going to open another configuration here on the Cryptowatch Desktop App so I can see Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Chainlink. Guys, if you want to use the Cryptowatch Desktop App, which is an incredible new product released by Cryptowatch, just go to the Cryptowatch website and download it for free. Now, moving on to the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin ran all the way up to 13,250. And if you were watching my live stream last night, we were talking about how it's not much of a surprise if Bitcoin sees some sort of resistance at this range. If you pull up the weekly chart, we can see that things are getting extremely interesting right now because Bitcoin last night has tested the 2019 second wick high before the pullback. And this is coming in right along 13,200, and Bitcoin just saw resistance at this level. If Bitcoin does continue up past 13,200 in the near future, then this weekly candle would very likely end up hitting 13,800. I think that there's really not much activity here in the past to stop us from going right up to 13.8K. So if things do become even more bullish here, I think we would probably target that 13.8K level. If Bitcoin does reach 13.8K within this weekly candle, I think what's likely to happen is that we're probably going to wick back down and close the weekly around 13.2K. And then it's possible that we may actually consolidate above 12.5K. Maybe next week, see a bit of a pullback and consolidate within this range. I think that, just in terms of probabilities, this is the more likely scenario right now. And now looking at the blue 21-week EMA, which has been a very key moving average recently, we're closing all weekly candles above it. And as long as we're above it, things are generally bullish. Whether we do wick up to 13.8K or not, I think that we'll probably end up seeing some kind of consolidation in this range. And I think that's going to be the prime area of entry moving forward before we see that next major parabolic phase up to potentially, 16.2 to 17K on the next major breakout. Now, this is the bullish case for Bitcoin right now, that we would be entering this type of a parabolic phase up to the all-time high. In terms of the bullish case for Bitcoin, this is kind of just what I think is the most likely scenario right now, getting a nice trend along that 21-week EMA. And personally, that is where I'm looking to target for my next entries for Bitcoin, is of course along that 21-week EMA. If the S&P 500 plays out some kind of major rally here and things get very bullish in that event, then maybe Bitcoin actually becomes more bullish than I expect and we start closing these weekly candles more rapidly to the upside, although I think that's still a little bit less likely. For the bullish case, this is the type of action that I'm going to be looking for moving forward, and that next low could be coming in around 12K in a few weeks. Now, moving on to Ethereum, what we discussed in yesterday's live stream and yesterday's video was that if Bitcoin could consolidate below this resistance here and see some sideways action, that would give Ethereum and some other altcoins the momentum to get a major rebound and continue to the upside. If we're looking at Bitcoin right now, what we can see is that this hour 19 here on the chart, this is when Bitcoin began to pull back and started to consolidate. And if we're looking at Ethereum, that is also the same hour that it pulled back and began to consolidate. But since then, it has broken out, right? Bitcoin's trading sideways, and Ethereum did get that momentum to the upside. And what we were saying is that if we can get this push to the upside, Ethereum would probably start heading up towards $450 towards that previous resistance. And it does seem like we could be on our way there right now. Now, this red box that you're seeing is really a critical spot for Ethereum. If we get above $450 to $500, that would confirm, in my opinion, a bull market for Ethereum. That would be a sustained increase in price, and we would be confirming the continuation of this trend, which, in my opinion, would mean that Ethereum has entered a bull market because we're getting above that major resistance from 2017 and 2019. And if we get above that previous resistance at 450 to 500, Ethereum would be, in my opinion, officially in a bull market. We have not seen Ethereum push above these prices for a very long time. Now, moving on to Chainlink. Chainlink has seen a really nice move to the upside today. We're up over 11% with Chainlink right now. And what we were discussing in my previous videos was that if we could flip that 21-day EMA back into support, right? Like we saw multiple areas of resistance along the 21-day EMA. We saw some support come in here. We closed above it, and now we're just continuing up. Then very likely the next upside target is actually coming in at this major resistance and support area at $12.85. And this is the area that I personally think Chainlink is looking to target here in the near future. And the first expected target is being hit right now along this upward sloping resistance line. But I think it's very likely that Chainlink will range up to at least $12.85 on this run. And this would actually put Chainlink in a potential parabola once again. And once we get above this previous area here, $12.85 to $13.40, which is a major support resistance. If we flip this range back into support, I do think that Chainlink is going to see a pretty momentous continuation to the upside. And overall, the Chainlink trend would be very, very strong. And again, as long as we're holding above the 21-day EMA, even if we see a pullback here or we continue up, then see some kind of a pullback and we consolidate, as long as we're creating higher lows above the 21-day EMA, then I'm really not all too worried about the volatility. And right now, things are looking pretty promising for Chainlink. And if Bitcoin does play out this scenario that I was discussing in the beginning of the video, where no matter what happens in the next few days, if we close this weekly, at or around 13,200 and we consolidate sideways, catch up with the 21-week EMA, and then rally again. During that consolidation, usually the altcoin market can do really well in these type of environments with these sideways action. So we'll see how this plays out, right? Of course, a lot of this does depend on the stock market. If the S&P 500 ends up losing that $3,400 level, or $3,393 or so, this area right here, which is the high from the global pandemic, if we start to lose that area, things are going to get really volatile for the S&P. And I do think that will play a role for Bitcoin, but as long as things can remain generally bullish for the S&P, then I think Bitcoin is going to be doing really, really well, and we could play out this type of a bullish scenario. But again, remember, the global narrative is pretty important right now. We got to make sure that things are stable across the world and the global markets. I hope this video gave you a better idea of what you could expect moving forward and where you could take some entries for Bitcoin moving forward. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and be sure to download the Cryptowatch Desktop app. It's totally free. You can create custom layouts, and it's a really smooth app. Guys, it runs beautifully on your desktop, whether you have Windows, Mac, or Linux. You can download this app. It's totally free. And I'll see you guys in the next video.